So we're back again working on the Ford F350. We are going to be replacing the emergency brake cable. This is a new one. I hope it's the right one. We're going to replace the emergency brake cable that goes from the pedal through the firewall, underneath the cab, toward the back of the truck. So let's get that started. First thing we got to do is protect our electrical system, and we have to disconnect both batteries. So let me show you the cable we're going to be replacing. It's the one that is actually on the emergency brake itself. I have it zip tied up right now so it doesn't fall. And what we have to do is we have to take out that box. That's a computer for the truck, I do believe. So that's going to be the first step. That's why we disconnected the battery. And then we got to take the whole mechanism right out of the truck. So first thing we got to do is, well, we already disconnected the battery. Now we got to remove this trim panel. So there are two screws holding this on, two nuts. One's here and one's up top. I'm going to start with the top one. Kind of got to do it blind. Now I'll be able to go out there and get the wires off a little bit. I had to pull it out a little bit there. So now let's go back out there and disconnect the wires. So to pull the computer out, we have to climb up on top of the truck here. You could take the wheel well out, but that's a lot more work, I think. Especially because I got the fender flares on. So the wiring harness is over there. There's two of them. This wiring harness has 3 bolts in it. Do not take out. It's the one to the right of that when you're facing the engine. It's one single bolt right through the middle of the wiring harness. Looks to like a 10 millimeter. Not sure if you're going to be able to see down there in the camera, but it's not the one with the 3 bolts. It's the one with the single bolt right in the middle, about 6 inches long, 4 to 6 inches. All right, I'm going to try to point to the wiring harness here. It is not these. It's not these here. It's that one right there. Zoom in on it. It's that one right there. You got to pull off. So you back that out. That pulls the wiring harness off, and then you should be able to disconnect the computer on the inside. Getting those wires undone is probably the hardest part so far. So I got the computer out. You can see the back of the wiring harness right there, that orange. That one screw holding that wiring harness in was probably the hardest part. All right, so here's the emergency brake system. So now we gotta start disconnecting the cables. This is for the parking brake release cable. Gotta squeeze that right there. And then we also have, I do believe the hood latch cable is attached to it, but we might have to take some of it off to get to that point. All right, I'm not sure what you're gonna be able to see. Let's see, here we go. There's one mounting bolt here. There's one over here. And I think oh boy. I think there's one back here. So I think there's 3. I gotta cut this. This is my, there we go. So I got this bolt here. I got to disconnect some cables here. We got a wire up here we got to disconnect. That's 2. The hood latch wires on this side. Right there. So here's emergency brake, or the hood latch release cable that was in that little clamp there and goes in this hole here. And then this is the emergency brake pull wire. You can see one's already broken on there. I'll snip that off. All right, now we gotta try to figure out how to get this out. Oh, I gotta go underneath too. Let's go underneath and free up that cable. So this is the cable that's broken, obviously, right there. Right there, it's broken. So we got to pull it out through the frame there, and that goes up to the cab floor right there. All right, well, somehow this wire got tangled up around this. So it looks like I got to bend this out to get the wire out and then bend it back. There it is. That's it. There's the broken cable. That was a lot harder than I had hoped for. This is your park and brake switch to let you know if your parking brake's on. So now we have to remove that plastic clip and then grab this cable. Cable goes right through there, and then hope our new one's the same one. So make sure to stick it through that hole. Come over here. Stick that in there. And then got to pull the cable. Got to make sure it stays in this track. And then that's in. All right, so my light died, so all I got is my headlamp. I don't know what you're gonna be able to see, but I gotta get this done. Oh, keep it through. All right, so the next step is to plug the wires back in the harness. And that's gonna all be by feel. There's no way to even see in here, camera or without the camera. Pretty much try to get it where you think it goes. Look in there, and then now let's see if we can get it in there. I'll start by hand. So I put the computer back in, I put this back on. Let's make sure that's all the way up. I put this back on, put the cables back on, hooked the wire back up in here. I went and screwed the wires in, the wiring harness in, which there's absolutely no way to show you unless I take the whole fender off, but it's down there. It's the wiring harness with one screw. Now the next step is, here's my emergency brake cable. It's wrapped around here with electrical tape. This is a piece that connects the two. So now we got to go underneath and try to get these two, try to connect the two with the cable connector here. I'll see you on the bottom. So here's a new cable. First thing we gotta do is you gotta send it through the frame here and here. I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see with me holding the camera and doing this, but we'll try it. Let's see. Now we got to make sure, I'm looking straight up at it, we got to make sure that gets locked in there. That's in. So now, they seem to be a little short. Well, let's see. All right, so the intermediate cable, which is this one, which is the one that goes from the new cable that I just installed to the rear, where splits off two. That's this one. It's showing signs of wear and tear right there. So I got this one. So let's go down and try to install it. So now you got to push these little buttons in like that so they don't fall out. All right, nice. All right, let me show you the easier way of doing this. Okay, so here's the way I did it. I already undid it. You got the two going to the back tires right here. I put this new steel wire on, but I connected it up at the front of the truck first. And then I just came over here. I hooked the top one. All right. And now basically that's my leverage. And then I won't be able to do it one-handed though. Let's see, where can you see it? All right, right there and here. See, I got the top one hooked. And then all I did was I pushed like that. And done. Very simple. So the next step I got to do is I got to adjust the brake shoes, because we just put all new brake shoes in yesterday. And to see if your emergency brake system is working, I'm going to pull on the cable. Let me zoom you in there. To see if your cable system is working, if you remember yesterday when I did on the other video, when I did the emergency brake dust shields or the backer plates, that's what that big piece is. That's the emergency brake cable. So I'm going to pull on the cable I just put in. There you go. So those are all activating. So now I just got to go in there and adjust the shoes with the brake spoon, it's called. So before I adjust the brake shoes, because I know the brake system works, okay, stays down, pops up. I'm going to put the truck back together and pick up as many tools as I can here. All right, let's go underneath. Here's your emergency brake cable, and your adjuster is right here. Would have been easier yesterday with the tires off, but take this dust shield out. All right, got the dust shield out, and that star adjuster is right here. Let's see if I can get this dust boot out. All right, well, we're gonna try that. And if I have to readjust them after I use them for a while, it's easy enough. Trying to put that dust shield back in now. I don't know why every time I go to work on my truck, it's 100% humidity and 90+ degrees. So anyways, emergency brake cable. This is the one that was broken right there. And this one here is the intermediate, which is called the middle, or it's called the intermediate one. It's the middle one. This goes to the pedal. This is the one that goes underneath the cab. And then this one splits off to each individual wheel. Well, this one showed signs of fraying right there. When I needle scaled the truck, I probably banged it up a little bit also. So I replaced this also. Replaced this. The hardest part was getting to that wiring harness, that one screw on that wiring harness, because you got to do it blind, and it didn't help that. Like I said, I am soaked. This is my third shirt, I do believe, of just this short little video. Just trying to stay somewhat dry, but it doesn't work. But anyways, truck works. The brakes, the emergency brake holds when it's in neutral. When I put it in drive, it kind of creeps if I give it gas. If I put it in reverse, they stay unless I give it gas, then it creeps. So I'm gonna leave it like that for a couple days and use the truck to get them cycled in there. And then what I will do is, before I put the truck camper on it, I will jack it up and readjust them, get them a little tighter, so that way there's no movement at all. Other than that though, I consider it's a success. All the brakes in the back are all brand new calipers, rotors, pads, emergency brake shoes, hardware, and the backer plates. The wheel bearings look good. I took them out, repacked them, washed them, repacked them, stuck them all in. Everything's good to go. So I'm gonna lock up and close everything up here. There's a thunderstorm coming, so hopefully it cools everything off, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.